We're back!
Get it?
In the basement of downtown Tulare at Downtown Dream 2.0 on the corner of K Street and Kern. We're back for episode what, boys?
I don't know. There's lots.
6, 7,
Sure. 10.
8, 9, 10.
Not even close.
10.
Woo! Hey,
Hey.
top 10, baby.
Yeah,
Let's
let's
go.
go. Man,
Jinx.
raise some dust
Yeah.
in the basement.
Did we
That
really?
means you don't
Kicking
even have
up
to
dust,
worry.
baby. That's what we do.
Every episode up to this point has been a top 10.
Been in top
episode.
10. That's true.
Dang.
Think about that.
Why didn't we come up with that when we're at 3? Because all of them are top 3. But, okay, whatever. Anyway.
That's all right. We'll
You know, it's
Yeah.
good.
live and learn.
It's good, Blake.
Anyways.
Cool. Well, happy to be here, first of all.
Yep.
Thankful.
Yep.
A couple weeks I was gone. We've had Zach in here. We did replace the chair.
Woo!
Not
Chair
falling this time.
replacement.
It didn't fall. No moss.
Secure.
Yep.
Shaved head still going good.
Yes, it is.
It's time
Still
tonight.
looking
It's going to
good.
get shaved again.
I think I had a convo with someone about it, and we did say that we felt like it was adapting.
Mm.
Like we talked about congruency last week.
Yeah.
I feel
2
like
weeks ago.
2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
your scalp and your forehead are becoming more congruent with each
You
other.
wanna hear
And I don't
some
know if that's
seamless.
just sun. Yeah, I don't know if that's from the sun or whatever.
It's
it
getting a
may
little
be.
bit tan. Getting more tan.
Yeah, it's blending better,
Yeah.
right?
Okay, so here's something funny. So
Okay.
I have my little cousins. They're super great cousins.
Cut-ins.
Cousins, yeah. They play a lot of Fortnite.
Mm.
And okay, so they also play water polo. So they're
Oh, I know the type.
yeah, they play water polo, they play video games. And
Probably smoke lots
he
of
has a headset indentation in his head
I
because he
believe
just
it.
shaved his head
Oh, and from
the
having
headset. There's
yeah.
an indentation in his.
Yeah.
It was wild.
Both our sons
Like
had to wear
perma.
helmets because of that.
Really?
Yeah, actually both.
Because
are.
of video
That's so
games?
true. Not because of video
Oh.
games. Yeah.
But because of indents.
because of indents laying
Oh.
on. Yeah.
And so
So just curious, like, did you see this fresh after he took off or was it like
No,
it's been
so-
off and you can tell like that's just a perma?
Well, I hadn't noticed
indention.
it, but we were hanging out last night, and their older brother was like, "Yo, I shaved his head for water polo. Look at this is what his head looks like." And he showed me a picture, and I was like, "Whoa, that's crazy." Carson probably has that too. If he shaved his head,
Dang, that's pretty wild.
That is
Yeah.
pretty wild.
I know.
What brought that up?
His head.
Oh, so that's what. Oh, okay. I was
Or
trying
are
to
you
figure-
meaning
My
oh,
shaved
yeah,
I
head?
was
his
figuring like the
shaved head.
tie-in, but that's the
Yeah,
indention.
his
Okay.
congruent. And then I thought about it.
Congruency.
It's
Seamless.
congruent.
Seamless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is? Yeah.
True.
True.
Well, good stuff. So anyway, thanks for being here, Zach. We got some good
Yeah.
stuff. We're talking about the team today. What does it look like to be on a team? It's different. What does real estate look like? We got Reese and Zach that started from not having their license to having their license and kind of being here for a few years now,
Yeah.
since 2020. So, you guys have watched the Shawn team go through a lot.
A lot.
Had to bear a lot. We've had to watch our industry, the economy, our world, just a lot of things change.
So,
What were you going to say?
I was gonna say COVID, but I came after COVID, so
I feel like you were there.
Kinda like
around.
it was like
COVID.
in
Yeah.
COVID. It was, I
Yeah.
came in 2021.
Mid-end COVID.
But anyway, just talking about what that looks like from your guys' perspectives, because there's a lot of people out there that see real estate, they're excited about it, right? And they're like, all right, watch this show. I have this perception of it, or I think it's going to be
Yeah.
like this, or oh, I want to join this team, but then everyone wants to be by themselves or for
Yeah.
themselves or whatever. Like, what is
Yeah.
that psychological process? What's it been for you? I'm just going to throw up and just let you guys kind of take it wherever. But there's some
Sure.
good stuff out there that I think people need
Yeah.
to hear that are going through it.
Well, I was blessed. I think it's a blessing rather than not, but with some naivety when it comes to the real estate industry, because this is the
Yeah.
only place I know. And then as I started working more and doing transactions and working with other agents, I was able to see the environment that is out there.
Yeah.
But like as far as I just lost my train of thought. I don't know. I didn't know what else is out there. So like it's weird. It's so foreign to me to hear other people's stories of like horror stories
Their
from
experience.
their experience in other
Yeah.
teams, because I've only had a good experience with teams,
I appreciate
So,
that, dude.
yeah.
I think same thing for me. I've seen people come and go as we've been going through the last 3 or 4 years. But yeah, I don't know anything other than the Shawn team. and being a part of the brokerages we've been a part of. But yeah, for me, I sometimes find myself like a little bit confused because, you know, a big part of it is ourselves, you know, getting out there, sharing the fact that we're just selling real estate. And
Right.
I know there's, you know, we've had such a great marketing like campaign and, you know, for a long time been able to do that really well in our community with the Downtown Dream and all that. But yeah, I just sometimes get confused, like what else are people looking for? And I know it's an easy thing to say, well, yeah, they're looking for money, stability, all that stuff. But it's like, man, I've seen everything we've done internally, and it's like, I don't know what else I would be looking for. You know, like we have a great setup, a great team, a great, you know, process that we go through. It's like, man, I think people get scared when the market turns and things happen and they think there's another place that will provide something better. And I'm speaking from experience. Like we're literally recording this podcast as I'm sitting here and haven't sold a property since last August. So let that sink in. Like I'm just being real. Like it's been almost a year since I've sold the property, and I'm grateful for some of the business, you know, endeavors we've gotten to that's helped carry me to this point. But
Amen.
It's like, man, I don't know what else I'd be getting somewhere else. It's like I'm just staying here, and now my business is starting to really build up, and it's gonna. I see it already tip over here soon.
Yeah.
And you know, thank God for it. But it's like, yeah, I don't know. It seems funky, like, you know, when everything's unsure and when everything's up in the air, it's like, yeah, maybe go find something somewhere else. And it's like, well, yeah, everybody's struggling though. Like if you're gonna stay in the same industry, it's I don't know what's gonna be a huge difference somewhere else unless you move. Like, but you're living in the same town, doing the same thing. Like, I don't know. It just seems like, yeah, there's a interesting mentality there.
What I find with myself, and I'm 10 years in the game now, but every year I'm discovering a new part of myself. And so, like, yeah, this is an emotional thing, but what I realize is that a lot of my frustrations, a lot of my, I don't know, even confusion and lack of clarity, simply, it's coming out of me getting to know myself in different areas of myself in distress or at emotional states. And when we enter those areas, it's scary. And so our natural tendency is to grab, right? There's got to be something, it's got to be, but I mean, we're doing a lot of heart work and stuff outside of real estate right now. And what we find is really it's us trying to avoid some sort of uncomfortable emotion typically.
Yeah.
And that's not saying, oh, there's not a time and place that you need to leave and go do whatever you need to do for your family. I'm not saying that at all.
Sure, yeah.
But a lot of real estate to younger people like us, it's not the real estate that's as hard as we think it is. It's the exposing of our humanitarian being and other people's humanity too.
You
like
get put to the fire a lot, and that
constantly
brings out so much.
And
about
you have
yourself.
very little consistency.
Yeah.
So it's what it does to your mind is a lot.
Yeah.
And it's not like, I don't take that lightly, but really and this could be wrong on my side, but the main gist of a team is just to have some people that you know can have your back and that you can depend on and that can sit in stuff with you.
Yeah.
Because we're so into coaching in this industry when really sometimes the answer is not a coaching thing. It's let's just sit in here and explore this because this is new.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I just all the solo agents out there, especially in times like this, I don't know how they do it.
Yeah.
To be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
It's hard out there. And like you said, we get put in the fire sometimes, and sometimes you just need a brother to turn to. And I'm wondering how they do that.
Yeah, that's what I think I've been looking for and wanted the whole time when I stepped into the Shawn team, seeing the culture that you wanted to build, Blake, and like how you wanted to operate. I definitely want to do business with people and want to have, you know, money and support my family and do all the things that, you know, we're supposed to do as men. But I wanted some people to do it with, and that could say this is actually bigger than just, you know, putting money in our pockets or doing a bunch of deals. It's like, through the suck, we can walk it out together and you know, in a weird way, enjoy it. Man, this is
find some joy in it.
Yeah, this is actually the way that life should be lived, is together. And yeah, I wanted a team that was bigger than real estate, and that's what we've talked about the whole time. And goes back to my original point. Like, I don't know what else I'd be looking for than what we got. Yeah, we've been through hell and back literally, and it's like I don't know that I would want it any other way.
Yeah.
I think it's I think that the fact that you're able to identify that, especially not being in any other brokerage but coming to the Shawn team, I think that one, it's a blessing that you can identify that.
Yeah.
Because I've been different brokerages, and some have been good, some have been bad. And like just like you said, like this is what I've seeked too, just a group of individuals like-minded and hardworking, and knowing that we can turn to each other when it's not going good. Because a lot of the times it's not going good compared to when it is.
Sure.
Yeah.
But we have our phones now on social media, so we can make it look how we want to now.
Exactly.
Sure.
But
Exactly.
the fact that you're able to identify that, I think it's awesome, because it took me a while to figure things out.
Yeah.
I thought being a solo agent was freaking cool because you make a buttload of money.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you don't have to share it with it, but it's not worth it, man.
Yeah.
Whenever you're put in the fire, none of that stuff matters anymore.
Yeah. It's
Well,
really
and
wild.
one thing I've like in talking to other people that, like other agents that I know, that like when I tell them about what we have, it's just weird because I feel like even other teams, like they have been surprised at how involved you are in us. Cause like, and you could probably even tell us that you're involved in our businesses and lives, almost maybe at a detriment to your own business sometimes, And so it's like, cause that's who you are. You just love us so much. And so like a lot of people in telling, not even if I don't even go that deep with people, but they just like how involved you are in us and how much the team helps is just foreign. Which is I've never experienced obviously firsthand because this is the only place I've been. But
and I don't know. There's this like interesting thought that I had too. Like we're not. You'd be one of the first people to say we're not perfect here. Like we have a lot of things we work through, and we're also we're not the only ones out there like doing good things that God's
Right.
using.
Sure.
Totally.
There's other people.
Totally.
There's other brokerages. There's other.
Yes.
But it's like when I come into a family, when God gave me the family that I have, like. That's my family. Like, that's ride or die. That's what I got, And it's like, I didn't find the perfect thing here, but I found pretty much what I was looking for. So it's like, through the ups, through the downs, like, I don't get to just like up and leave when it gets hard or when it's like I don't, in my marriage, I don't get to just do that. No, I have to work through that. I have to talk it out. I got to communicate. And so I don't know. I have that same similar feeling with the Shawn team. Yeah, we're not perfect. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff we're working through. And, we're also doing really good things. And there's other people that are too. But, like, this is my work family. Yeah. I don't just, when it's hard and difficult, get to up and leave or do whatever.
And we've had hard convos, dude. Every single person at this table has had hard convos with each other.
I think that's healthy and that's good and it's important, And then, on the other side of it, like, God does call you to go do other things at certain times and certain seasons. And that's okay, too, if that's what God wants you to do. Yep. But I think, like, when you found what you're looking for, just when a few things don't go your way or when it gets hard or when it gets difficult, you have a rough conversation. Yeah, you talk it out. You work through it. You don't just, hey, maybe it's grass is greener on the other side because it's not always greener on the other side, And so I don't know. That's something I was thinking about too. Like as a work family, we work through things and we talk through things and communicate through things just like we will with our family or with our wives or whatever the case may be, in all of our relationships.
Right.
Well, and it's cool that you have that same mindset that you were just talking about because even in the rough conversations that I've had with you and you're like, Reese, you got to get your crap together, dude. Like you didn't just tell me to leave. Like you had grace with me and you helped me along with those. You just told me like, dude, come on, bro, get it together. And then, figure it out. So thank you for that, by the way.
No, thank you guys. It's been both ways. And part of the hardest thing is continuing to grow as a leader is also being okay taking criticism or misunderstanding, even if it's said eloquently and can even make sense. Yeah. Be like, I agree and I'm sorry, I'm figuring it out and I'm giving it everything I have right now in this season. Yeah. And if it's not enough, like I can be sorry, but I don't have to over-explain myself. Yeah. And that's tough when you love everyone here. Yeah. That's hard. Mm-hmm. And I go back and forth and in this real estate game and, you guys tell me, but discipline's tough.
Mm-hmm.
Just have to discipline in general, just on work and focus, whatever it may be. And the discipline here for agents gets very challenging when there is no requirement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How do you lead a team of people that have no requirement to be anywhere at any given time, but still expect a full-time plus Benny outcome?
Mm-hmm.
How do you, on a team, coach that alignment? Or is that a personal discovery that you think every single person has to figure out in their own way?
It is.
I think it's a personal discovery.
It's a personal.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's a mix of both.
Yeah. I think it has a little bit of both because I think, as leaders too, it is part, and we've talked about this a little bit, me and Lewis have, and all of us, but, leadership, when you're leading a team and when there's clear leaders and clear people that are executing the vision and then carrying it out and then showing the rest of the team what it is that they're expecting, it's just a natural byproduct that those people are going to do what the leaders are doing. And so,
Right.
I think what has happened for some of our, team and in some areas of what we do, we haven't necessarily seen some of the stuff, like Lewis coming from another brokerage. You haven't been in the game as long as you've been in the game. Some of the stuff you guys did in your early years to get where you are now.
Right.
You don't hit the phones as hard as you used to. You don't door knock the way you used to door knock.
Right.
You're on social media better than ever, but that's your vein now.
Yeah.
And people haven't seen what it took to get the SOI that you guys have now. And so now, a couple levels down the chain, oh yeah, Blake and Lewis and all, they're going to these lunch meetings and they're doing these things and they're, building up this acquisition team. And, then we still have all of our resale and stuff. They don't see all the stuff it took to get there, and they don't see you doing it now.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's not to say you didn't do it, and that's not to say that's what it takes to get there.
Right.
But
right.
So then a couple rungs down the leadership level, it's like, oh, what's going on? Why are things not hitting for me? How come I'm not having the same outcome Blake and Lewis and Reese are? It's like, well, these are the things they did, but you never saw it. They may talk about it a little bit, but
Yeah.
Talking about it's one thing, and then seeing somebody implement it day in and day out is a completely different thing. So I think that muddies the waters
good,
a little
dude.
bit.
No,
and,
it's so true.
There's some of that we can help, and some of that is like it's where you're at in your career.
Yeah.
And so I think having a proper understanding of that really helps people see. Yeah, they're telling you these things, and they've already done them. You're not seeing them do it, but it's what it takes.
Right.
It gets funky.
Well, and along with that comes a mixture of social media and entrepreneur stuff that, like, a lot of trendy entrepreneur things, like you get to work for yourself and
Looks nice.
like it does. No one on social media talks about, like you said, going and door
The hard
knocking
stuff.
and making
Yeah.
cold calls. That stuff on being a part in real estate is not talked about hardly at all, unless you're following a guru that might bring it up sometimes.
Right.
But like those two are a bad mixture, because then you get these people, especially and also with the market that we had from 2019 to last year, to the middle of last year, it's almost easy to get in and make sales if you're showing up, and so like those three things were a perfect storm, and then we have what happened in the middle of last year, and then people are just dropping off, so it's like,
Yep.
I don't know.
I think it's personal discovery, and here's why. Because I didn't see the first brokerage that I was at them hit the phones or door knock. I was told to.
Yeah.
But I think it's the question is, how bad do you want it?
Yeah.
And the days that matter the most are the days you don't want to come into work, and those are the days that matter the most. You got to show up.
Yeah.
And for me, I think it goes back to work ethic too. It's like, again, I didn't see anyone at the phones at the old brokerage that I was door knocking, but I ended up doing it. You just have to freaking take action. Just take action, take initiative, like you said.
Yeah.
And then through that, you'll probably hit a lot more fires than you will. You'll hit 20 fires and you have a little win, half of a win at most.
Yeah.
But you keep showing up. The secret I think the secret to anything is consistency.
It is.
Yeah, for sure.
It is.
Yeah, that was really well said.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was really, really well said. And it is consistency. That's it. And I don't know, God's always just showed up. And I think entrepreneurship in a nutshell is, for me, has been a faith call. It's been a challenge to my faith. It's funny because entrepreneurs typically want the most control. That's why they've left wherever.
Yeah.
But what they find is, in their desire for less control, they've realized they actually have even less than what they thought they had. And so there's this, for me, it's a grieving process. Like, Lord, there is no other side to the hill.
Yeah.
Like the world convinced me of.
Yeah.
Like that social media person convinced me of. So what am I really after?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think too, it gets interesting, like on that note, you know, fact matter is we can't all be entrepreneurs. We can't all be lawyers. We can't all be teachers. We can't.
But certain things are more trendier.
Type
Yeah,
of
right?
person.
And
Yeah.
and
It takes a
sometimes,
certain
yeah,
type of
society and
person.
culture goes through these like, yeah, little veins of, oh yeah, this is the cool
This is
thing.
it,
This
yeah.
is what we should be doing. The fact of the matter is, you know, I applaud anybody who just gives it a try, who opened the door and gave it a
Totally.
shot.
Right.
Like
Absolutely.
sometimes it's you open that door and it's just not the door that you're supposed to be in, but
Right.
you opened it. Like you're looking, you're searching, you're trying to
Yep.
figure out what it is that you're supposed to be doing, you know? So
Oh, wow, that's weird. Can't have that.
Mhm.
And what you're saying is, real estate and entrepreneurship could still be a growing season for someone that maybe feels like it's a failure right now.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, and even
good.
going through that, like, to be honest, for me personally, like being an entrepreneur and being a realtor is like not my most fulfilling purpose. I know that
There's a deeper,
beyond a shadow of a doubt, it's a part of what God's been doing in my life.
yeah,
But it's not like it's helping me get to where I really feel like God wants me to be.
right.
And for some, like, and I know real estate and being an entrepreneur and that will be a part of my life for most of my whole life. You know,
Right.
I don't ever foresee it getting, you know, going away from it, and it'll always be a portion. But
Yeah.
for some people, it is just a season. It's
Totally.
and then it's gone, and then
70
they
to
become a
80%.
lawyer, and then they become or a teacher or whatever, and they had to go through there to see certain things about themselves and sift through some stuff going on in their heart, figure something out. So it's like,
Absolutely.
and that's okay, you know,
Yep.
like, but I just,
Yep.
I just think sometimes we're like, oh yeah, everybody could do this. It's like, no, like you are allotted your portion in life and you get to do that portion. This may not be it. This may be a door to that part of your
Exactly.
life. But so, you know, we got to take that into consideration too. Sometimes I think like, yeah, it's not for everybody and it's okay.
Yeah.
It's
No,
just
and I think
fine.
that's good.
Like,
Yeah.
And then, you know, trying not to vilify people in the process.
yeah.
And that's tough, right?
Yeah.
When the emotions are high.
That's
But-
what I need to work on. Like, is having more grace for those people. That
Me too,
that's
man.
one of my like. I just, especially when, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm trying to say here.
No,
But I
I
just
get
need to
it.
have more grace for those people that aren't. That's not what they're called to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not what they're supposed to do, and they tried it, and I don't know. That's one of my flaws that I
Yeah.
just get.
Well, and I think the flaw is not in that. The flaw is that you hear that person say something that isn't in alignment with the truth.
Yeah.
And then now you have an issue with that person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like you're saying that, but I know differently.
Mm.
Yeah.
So like sometimes if the person just wouldn't even say whatever excuse or whatever they have to vilify the other person, they just wouldn't go there. Just be like, hey, like this ain't working out for me.
Mm-hmm.
But how many of us do that?
Because it is a pride thing too.
Totally.
Yeah.
Just
And
like
it is, right?
Yeah.
And we've been on the other side of that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I've been on the other side of that convo a lot. And that's the only way that I have grace for it is because I've been that person where it's like I'm confused and I literally don't know, but I think it's their fault because it can't be mine. You know? And
Yeah.
even if it's not like that, but to some degree, that's what it boils down to.
Yeah.
Well, in order for someone to like really like in my opinion, in order for someone to like you have to put in the work before you can decide it's not for you.
Got it.
Like if they just tried it and didn't really give it their full effort and then decided it's not for them, I don't really give them credit for actually trying it, if that makes sense.
Got it.
Is that wrong? Am I wrong in saying
Reese is not playing.
that? No.
Reese ain't playing.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
You know?
I think to a certain degree, yes. I think sometimes you step into something, you're like, oh yeah.
Sure.
This is not me.
But
like,
even then, you have to step into it and try
Sure,
it
yeah,
first.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
So to a certain degree, yeah. If you open the door and you step in, then yeah.
yeah.
But
And
yeah,
then we
not everybody
have
has
to
go as
be
deep into it.
gracious with whatever their comfort level is
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
and what their responsibilities are, or what there's all of these caveats that go into everything where it's like it's tricky.
Yeah, true.
Life is not black and white, but
Yeah.
we are constantly trying to make it like that.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause
I'm
it's
still
easier
learning.
on our brains.
Yeah.
But life is lived in the gray, just like life is lived in the hallway. I think it's lived in the gray. However, all of us want the hallways, but between two doors, right? I think it's the same concept with this other thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Same exact concept. Like
Yeah.
gray is where all of life is figured out, yet we
True.
just want it black or white.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and
The
I
growth
also
is in
like,
that gray.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
where the growth is.
Yeah.
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 Growth is in the hallway. Growth is in the gray. Growth is in every middle part that none of us are comfortable in,
It's true.
Yeah.
and we resent it.
Yeah.
Kind of goes back into your like original question on the team side of stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's why it's so important to have a team, is because you can sift through this stuff together. Like trying to do that
Yep.
individually, oh my gosh, like I do it all the time, and I'm like, I get in these weird, funky spots, and it's like, yeah, I need to bounce this idea off somebody else. I need to see if what I'm saying is crazy or not. Or
Yeah,
if I
flesh
should,
it out
if
a
I
little
should,
bit.
yeah,
Yeah.
flesh it out. Walk it out this way or that way, and yeah, I think it's having a team and being able to do that together is super important. Having a culture where somebody can still be themselves, because being yourself is actually helpful to the overall team.
It's the greatest
But
call.
Yeah, still having the same DNA and understanding of what it is you're trying to do vision wise is super important. So it's a both and. Yeah, be who you are, but don't like get so far outside of what the team and the vision of the team is that you miss it on that
Yeah.
side either.
Totally.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, real estate. Going back to real estate, right? Real estate's hard, right? Any industry that you're a salary-based person, then you go to self-employment, whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
What I have identified, and I don't know if I'm going off track or not, but it was in my thought. I had it in my mind, so I want to share it.
Yeah.
It's easy for me now to see who the who's are and who's gonna make it. I
Mm.
think a lot of people come in this industry because, again, what is real estate? Oh, you drive a Lamborghini or you make this much money, right?
Uh-huh.
A lot of people join this industry with so much pride, and what they forget or they don't know how to do is to say, I don't know,
Mm.
right?
Yep.
Like when they get asked a
Good,
question
dude.
or something,
That's really,
I know
really
that. Dude, I can, no, dude, shut up, listen.
Yeah.
Like, and just be a sponge. I think, and I say
Yeah.
that from experience
Yeah.
because, I made $3,000 or I don't know how much I made my first check, but I was the crap, bro. I knew everything, dude. And then after that, like that was just half of a win. And then after that, I experienced 25. I'm like, what went wrong? The faster you can identify
Yes.
that you are the little fish and you don't know nothing, and you should embrace that, because if you embrace the fact that you don't know nothing and you just
Yeah.
come from a mindset of like, I'm going to learn from Reese, I'm going to learn from Blake, I'm going to learn from you, Zach, like it'll just help you. Anyways, that was in my mind.
Yeah. No, that's good.
And I see that a lot.
That's
And-
why I love our team too, because I'm like, I get to hang out with you fools and know a lot more than I do. You know?
I don't know anymore, Reese.
Oh
You're
man,
getting pretty
I've
saucy.
learned more in the last year or two than I have in
Yeah.
8 years before. That's a wild thing. But I think that is happening because I am open to it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's been the difference? The first 6 or 8 years versus the last 2 or 3 that has propelled you into a different spot. Like, are you doing different things? You hanging around with different people? Like, what's the?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I've analyzed that myself. And to be honest, it's pretty wild, the transformation that's happening with me right now. But in real estate, you have to get your name out there. You have to do X,
Sure.
Y, and Z. And I was big on that, and I got it modeled what it looks like at the biggest level. And so now when we've been going through all these changes and I've just been in the crucible, the team has went through 3 or 4, I would call it sheddings of skin. We talked about glass ceilings, I think, last week. but I feel like we keep going through that and we're losing people that I truly love. And it's absolutely taken its toll on me. And it's brought me back to the drawing board of what does this look like? And it's funny, but even when we're doing the stuff on the disposition packets or whatever, like at one time I needed my name and face everywhere.
Yeah, I had to convince you to let me keep your face.
And now you had to convince me with the cowboy hat. And that's like my marketing thing, which is cool because people know me by the cowboy hat. But it's like I don't have a huge desire to be overly seen anymore, even though I still have to do it for the brand. But there's that change that happened to me. And that's why I decided to go, I think originally for the team was because it was a way to get outside of myself, because I saw myself by myself in real estate and what I could achieve in it by myself and how boring and lonely it was.
Yeah.
And I've lost everything in many ways of what I've personally made in real estate to focus on the team and what does being a leader look like? What does business look like? And that's just the cost to play. But like the original question was, what has changed or propelled?
Yeah.
I had to pivot to putting a ton of boundaries in place. I had to start protecting a lot of time and energy. I had to be able to identify people that I love and can still care for, but maybe this isn't the season that I get to pour into them. Maybe I got into real estate in the beginning to make a lot of money for myself and because I liked the idea of houses and all that, but now it's pivoted to people, houses to people. And I can't focus my passion. If his passion's not there, I'm out. My passion for houses left. My passion for people stayed. And that's why I do real estate. And, I'm exploring different avenues now, but the people and the metamorphosis that you guys get to be a part of, I know it's silly, but Reese getting a couple big checks and buying a car and getting some new clothes, like that was me quite a few years ago going to do that. And that changed my life, but then I need good brothers by my side to make sure that I keep walking this thing out and stay consistent and everything else.
Yeah.
And there was just all of these gaps that I had in my walk and my journey. And it's like, I don't need to solve all of your guys' problems, but man, I'd like to be there with you. I'd like to explore and be passionately curious about some of the things that I used to be passionately curious about and didn't know where to go or who to talk to.
Yeah.
And part of it is you just have to be okay as you climb in life to be misunderstood by the people you love the most. And I go back to that because I am naturally a people pleaser, dude. And I would be selling real estate by myself right now if I wouldn't have had to confront that very hard last year. Yeah. Because I felt like a failure in my personal sales. I felt like I was a failure every time someone left. I did take it personally every time, and I still have to battle it personally, except the difference is instead of faking it with the other person now, I'm straight up and said, hey, this is going to sting. I know that about myself, and I'm actually going to let myself process this anger. Yeah. I love you, but I'm going to need some space and time. And the quality of my conversations and the quality of the way I'm able to live my life without being understood is why I'm continuing to grow. That's it. Yeah. If I got stuck in someone else's thoughts or what they believed or whatever, I'm stuck in the water. I'm dead. I'm just selling houses.
Yeah. Dude, that's why I'm so grateful to be part of this team, because I feel like what took you, and I know you're still learning and stuff at over 10 plus years. Like, right. I think that I just have the opportunity and blessing to learn from you. Like, I get my learning curve is now shortened because I get to learn from you. Like, it's not about the houses, it's about the people. You kept saying that. I'm like, what do you mean? Yeah. And now I know what you mean. Like, I definitely get that stuff. And I think that the biggest thing I learned through every one of you guys and just being on the team is, I think the most important thing is identity. Figure out what you want. Figure out
what you want, who you are.
Yeah, what you like, what you don't like.
What you're not. Yeah. That's good, dude.
And I've gotten to learn that from you, the team, everyone on here. And you're right, man. It's not about houses. It's about who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's cool too, because like you mentioned something else in that vein, like you had to realize and learn how to love people, even if you weren't necessarily like doing business with them,
Mm-hmm.
or they weren't on our team. Like where
Yeah.
do we get this idea that like, yeah, if they're not on the Shawn team, they're a bad realtor, or like if we don't go to the same church, like
Yep.
we got 3 churches represented right here, like.
Yep.
Where did we humans we get in our mind like, yeah, if they're not on our team or in our sphere, all of a sudden they're the bad guy. It's like,
Yeah.
what do you mean? Like you shop there and I shop here, and all of a sudden like we got this like divide amongst us. It's like, what are we doing? Yeah, it's not about the house or the transaction. It's about the person. Like, and we get this in our mind like, oh man, yeah, if they're not doing the stuff with us, then they're not with us. And it's like,
Yeah.
what? Like, why? Who
Yeah.
said that? Who
Yep.
wrote that rule? Like,
Yep.
you know, I don't know. I think that's something
Run your race.
yeah, I've really, enjoyed learning that the last, couple of years with you guys is like, yeah, just because they don't buy from us or even sell from us doesn't mean like we have to have this negative feeling about that client. Like, no, we're here to provide, we're here to serve, and we're here to love. And like whoever comes through the door, we're going to love them. If that's the next client or the next realtor on our team, or they go and they sign up with a different broker, like it's
Yeah.
all good.
It's good.
Like,
It's good.
well,
dude.
where do we get in our minds is like, oh yeah, if you're not with us, you're against us. Like what?
What's the goal of discipleship?
Yeah, it's true.
What is the goal of discipleship?
Walk alongside. I would say.
And
Yeah.
at some point they have to go.
It's true. It's a big, broad term for sure.
Oh
Like,
yeah, and we can get real
a
into the
lot,
weeds
yeah.
of it.
But yeah, it's essentially, yeah, if you're gonna learn from me and you're gonna learn my ways, at some point you're gonna go out and duplicate it and then teach others.
Learn,
Like,
equip, and
so- Yeah,
send.
it's true.
And that's where I have to be okay with that.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus would have, and I am by no means comparing anything in regards to Jesus here in the book of Acts, but I can tell you I get a lot of my leadership qualities and
Mhm.
styles and the way that I do things from the gospel and how I see Jesus act and how I see his disciples act in the book of Acts. That is how I want to grow and learn this thing. But the different thing, how I talked about people pleasing and the levels and all that different stuff, it's really wild that Jesus had his 12 disciples. He still had his 3 that he took with him to the transfiguration at the Mount. He would speak to thousands of people.
Yeah.
Everyone wanted the same level of access to Jesus. Not everyone had it.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone had a place in God's kingdom, but not everyone understood the proximity.
Mm-hmm.
And I think sometimes we get it really, really confused, thinking that like it's all one thing all the time, and if we're not doing everything together at all times, but that's not true.
Yeah.
Jesus hung out with his 12. He sent them out in 2s. Like there were levels there, and I don't know necessarily. I've had to glean from that, because in building this team, tying it into the team thing, if you want to grow something, it's going to get messy, and typically there's going to be people that are going to feel left out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going through that.
Yeah.
I think you guys can feel it, and at some point, you guys can be real here.
Mm-hmm.
You probably felt like that at some point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Zach, did you not?
Yeah.
Lewis, did you ever feel like that?
Yeah, yeah.
Reese, did you?
Those were some of the tough combos that we had
Absolutely.
early on. I remember telling you like,
Yeah.
hey, you and Jacob, I'm jealous of some of the stuff you guys have and get to do,
Yeah.
and like how you operate. And you were like, yeah. And that was some of the turning points of our relationship, was like, yeah, we have done some other things that you need to probably start figuring out how to do as well.
Yeah.
And we've quickly figured out how to do some of them, you
Yeah.
know? And it's simple stuff. Like,
Yep.
yeah, you do right by your brother. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you handle your business. You say this is the situation we have, and you say you're gonna do this. You follow through and you do
Yep.
what you say you're gonna do. And so it took some of those combos to be like, oh frick, you're right, dude. Better go start doing some business and figuring out how to do right by what I said I was going to
Straight
do.
up.
And
it's not easy, and we're all guilty of that, right?
all of us.
And some of us ebb and flow out of seasons. We do really well, and then we don't, and we're hard on ourselves. And part of that is all the discovery of it. God loves that. He loves the pursuit of it.
Yep.
It sounds funny, but like, maybe it doesn't sound funny, but when I was 21, 22, in property management, I'd be talking to tenants and owners, and I would have these little white lies. I'm just being honest with you guys. Little white lies here, white there, and I'd say this, or, and I'm like, Lord, I don't want to lie.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I want to be straight up all the time, but then that people pleasing comes in. Sometimes I feel like a white lie is maybe better than the 100% truth. And so I wrestle with that with God, because there is no black and white even on that stuff. You read the Bible and you see all sorts of wishy-washy things, and it's like, that's a you and God thing. You got to figure it out and get comfortable, and then it's all right. I'm comfortable, I'm good, we march on. But the wishy-washy, the fence, riding that fence, all of this middle ground is where it gets so scary, right? That's where the true self gets pushed out. But I remember saying those little prayers, and I'm still working on it, but I've gotten a lot better 9 years later. Not perfect, but dang it, I'm trying my best. I try to own it when I mess up too. I try to own it, man.
It's a big part of the team thing, I think.
That's hard, dude.
Gotta have that.
It's hard. I don't want to be wrong, but frick, I'm wrong every day, quite a bit.
Yeah.
Except when it's stuff with my wife. I'm always right on that.
Always.
Oof. It's a scary place
You'll
to
learn
sit
that
on
one
a
day,
recorded
Reese.
microphone.
Oh, I know. I'll be hearing about it at some point. We talked about a couple fun things.
Whoa.
Podcast is fun, but you gotta be real,
It's true.
Be real.
At some point, it's 2023 right now. It's gonna be 2027. Someone's gonna be listening to this, being like, "Frick, who the heck are these weird, crazy guys?" I'm gonna find, and they're gonna look us up and be like, "Oh wow."
And then they're gonna say, "Man, I wonder how this combo went with Blake."
Yeah, exactly. See, they're gonna be checking like, "Oh, how's that going? Is that still good?" Oh, it's good. But guys, I mean, I enjoy doing life with you. I enjoy this podcast. I enjoy having the conversations. Today's been a great day. It's cool to see the agents we have here. Thank you for loving me, bearing with me, being gracious to me. I don't know a lot about what the next season looks like, but I know who I'm doing it with, and that I'm really excited for.
That's enough. Yeah.
That's enough for me. So
Good.
Yeah.
next week, I don't know if we're going to have a special guest or not, and I'm going to leave it be a mystery topic because I want to chew on everything that we talked about here today and figure out what's the best way to move forward.
Use the molars
Use the molars.
to chew.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I mean, you could use your front teeth, but typically they're more.
That's true. And you know what? I
Tearing.
we have to do this real quick, and it's going to be a quick little thing, but do we have time for Lyrical Royale?
100%.
Lyrical Royale, we got to do a little lighten up, and even for the snippet, I haven't been all crazy like I usually have. It's been real serious. So if I don't have some content like this, you guys might not watch this, and then go click on the podcast, and I don't know what's going on, and it's go.
I like it.
Woo! Lyrical Royale. All right, Zach, do you have one for us?
There's so many, man. There's just so many good
I'm
things.
gonna leave that between you and God.
I think I might have to just go with
Do it.
now you get to watch her leave out the window. Guess that's why they call it window pane.
Dang. What song is that from?
Dave, say it again.
Say it one more time.
Now you get to watch her leave out the window. Guess that's why they call it window pane.
That's a
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
What's that song?
That's Eminem, bro.
Yeah,
That's
I was looking at
Eminem. Love the way you lie.
All right. Yeah.
I like the mini M&Ms. They're way better than regular M&Ms. Anyway.
This is true.
Do you guys? One of you guys want to go?
Yeah, I'll kid it real quick. This is from Chance the Rapper. It's from a song called Groceries.
Yes.
It goes like this. Too much dip on my chip.
Wow. Provocative.
You want me to say it one more time?
Yeah. Yeah.
In case I forgot.
Too much dip on my chip.
Chance the Rapper.
Chance the
What's
Rapper.
he up to now?
He's rapping.
Is he still rapping?
I'm assuming so.
Only by
I
chance.
was wondering if he had sold
Yeah.
out or not. You know.
He's one that I go back and forth
Because
on.
I was like, he got big, which they usually do, but then they
But then
require
they-
they sell him out, and then you know if they
Yes,
go bigger or not.
because
and he went quiet.
and he has a couple songs like he has a couple songs where they like talk positively about the Lord. And I'm not saying he's like saved or anything, but a little bit more than like the crazy people do.
So you're saying
you
he's
know?
not saved?
I'm not saying that's between him and
has
God.
he
I
said
don't know.
We
anything
won't
about the
go there.
number 3 on his hat that he wears?
He hasn't. But it's a little strange. He's hung out with Maverick City a couple times. He's done some stuff with them. I don't know. It's kind of like up in the air.
Okay, interesting.
I'm
I
a
do
little-
like that his number's 3.
Yeah, it's a solid
that
one.
was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He used to be with the Trumpets, right? Donnie and the Trumpets. Is that what they were called? That was the group he was with.
Couldn't tell you.
I'm not saying it correctly. Let me look it up.
I'm not sure, but anyway, chip on your dip.
Got too much.
Dip on your chip.
Got too much dippy.
got chip on your
Too much
chip.
dip on my chip.
I'll put my hand up on your chip. When I dip, you dip, we dip.
Ooh.
All right.
Was
Yeah,
before
there
his
it is,
time.
baby. I'm back.
Oh my God.
3:27 on June 23rd, 2023. Blake entered the hyperspace zone.
The danger zone.
Yeah, what's the Twilight Zone? But we got to come up
Twilight
with
Zone,
a
there it is.
version of it for the Downtown Basement 2.0.
Oh,
Downtown
so
Dream
true.
2.0 basement.
This is by a rapper named Eazy-E, R.I.P. I feel like I've done only dead rappers on this. I've done Mac Miller, Eazy-E, Tupac. Everyone's dead.
Oh, you still haven't gotten to your lyric yet. I thought that was a part of it.
Hey,
He was going off on
All
right.
All right. Here it is. Police on my draws. I had to pause. 40 ounce in my lap, and it's freezing my bowels.
Oh, okay, I'm saying my line after that. Can you say it one more time?
My God.
Are you sure? Police on my draws. I had to pause. 40 ounce in my lap, and it's freezing my balls.
Oh, my God.
Easy, everybody. Oh.
Lord help us. Lord help us.
I feel like Lewis is excited over here.
And I want to make one thing. I'm reading this, but I'm just so advanced in my lyrical reading that it actually is spelled police on my drawers. DRAWERS. But then I'm like, I saw a pause underneath it, so all simultaneously at the same time. Police on my drawers.
Yeah.
I had to pause.
True. Good. Yeah, it's good.
All right, what do we got, Lewis?
All right, mine's from Jay-Z. What more can I say? Far from a Harvard student, just had the balls to do it.
Hey,
My
that sums up a realtor. Realtor Joe.
Oh, my goodness. There we have
You guys
it.
are too much.
Oh man.
Dang, we went rappers all day
I
today.
know.
Deep.
We did go
Easy
deep.
E, Eminem, Chance, and Jay-Z.
Chance. Yeah.
Frickin' hey.
That's a crew right there, low key.
Yeah. Can I give one more?
I knew you were gonna.
Yeah.
Can I do one more?
Yeah, go
As
for
long
it.
as you don't
Chance
ruin.
lyric.
Oh, okay, good.
It's a Chance lyric.
Oh yeah. Okay.
All right, this is from a song called "All Night," and it goes
Scared.
like this.
I'm scared.
It goes like this. Oof. No, I'm not gonna say it. Never mind.
What? You can't just.
All right, another one by Easy E.
Happened here.
I'm not a registered Republican or Democrat. What? Oh, this is true. I don't even vote.
Oh,
He said this
God.
while he was alive, though. Oh,
Gotta love him.
heard he voted.
Wow.
All right.
Here, it's
Are you saying it or not, Reese? We're about to some. Oh man.
Are you?
This one? Oh, you should say that.
no.
Let me see it.
All right, I'll say it.
Yeah, say it.
What?
It goes like this. Start dancing, ho.
Oh man.
That's it. That's it. That's the line.
That's it.
Yeah, that's the line.
Oh no, I don't remember. What was it? Say it again.
No, I'm not gonna say it again.
Oh,
It's a one and done.
It's a one and done.
All right.
Oh, frick.
Yeah.
Chip and dip. Dip and chip.
Dip and chip.
That chip, but not too much.
Too much dip on my chip.
Piles on my draws.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up now.
Oh, all right. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in to our 10th episode of the Not So Real Estate Podcast. This is Blake.
Chance the Rapper. I mean Reese. Sorry.
This is Lewis.
Zach.
We'll be back next week. Stay tuned and bye with me
Let's go play through.
or my friends. Let's go play some pickleball. Good job, boys.
Oh, that was a gangster.
Star Dance.